The world of post-apocalyptic cinema in 2025 is more intense than ever. This year brings new dystopian landscapes, brutal survival stories, and terrifying threats lurking in the shadows. From high-stakes battles against zombies to post-civilization survival dramas, we've compiled the ultimate must-watch list of post-apocalyptic movies and series of 2025. If you love zombie outbreaks, deadly viruses, nuclear wastelands, or dystopian thrillers, this list is for you. 28 seconds later. The world collapsed in 28 seconds. The virus spreads rapidly. Just one bite. Infected in 28 seconds turn into fast, merciless beasts, ready to tear apart everything in their path. But then they suddenly freeze. For the next 28 seconds, they respond to nothing, as if turned off. It's a moment of silence before the next wave of terror. Because after those 28 seconds, they return faster, stronger, even more furious. Every survivor must learn this cycle to survive. Run, hide, wait, and pray that you'll make it in time before the next attack. In the Lost Lands, the world is destroyed, full of shadows of past civilizations and a wasteland where only the strongest survive. In this brutal post-apocalyptic landscape, the Queen desires one thing, the power to transform herself into a werewolf. Knowing that the usual ways will fail, she turns to Grey Alice, a sorceress shrouded in dark fame, a woman whose heart beats to the rhythm of ancient spells and secrets. Accompanied by the wanderer Boyce, she sets off into the depths of the Lost Lands, a place where magic and monsters intertwine into one nightmare. They face a battle not only with demons and treacherous people, but also with their own desires. Because in a world where everything has a price, the biggest dreams can become the worst curse. On the run. It's been 5 years since the apocalypse, and the world as humanity knew it has turned to ruin. Amidst the rubble and wilderness, a group of survivors is constantly on the run, not only from a merciless world, but also from a new and insidious threat that lurks in the darkness. Every day is a struggle for survival, and every night is filled with fear of what may come. They traverse destroyed cities, abandoned settlements, and wilderness areas, seeking shelter and the remnants of resources that will allow them to survive. But there are no safe places in this world, and trust is a luxury few can afford. Every step can mean death, but one thing is certain. Stopping is not an option. The electric state. In an alternate version of the 1990s, where technology has gone in an unpredictable direction, the world is in chaos. Michelle, an orphan teenager, travels across the devastated western United States on a desperate mission to find her younger brother, Christopher. However, she is not alone. She is accompanied by an enigmatic but loyal robot and an eccentric hobo, 𝐲𝐿. Their journey takes them through dangerous terrain full of traces of a former machine uprising that got out of hand. Now the abandoned ruins hide not only memories of a former civilization, but also a deadly threat. In a world where humans are but a shadow of their former power, Michelle must find her brother before it's too late. Roswell Delirium. The 1980s, but not as we know them. After a series of nuclear attacks, the United States has been plunged into chaos, and the surviving population, despite radiation poisoning, is desperately trying to lead a normal life. In this devastated world, a young girl, Mayday, sits down at the radio station each day, trying to contact her father, who is on a space mission. However, instead of his voice, she receives a disturbing SOS signal coming from deep space. The trail leads her to Space Rock, the former Area 51, where the secrets of the past still live. After being exposed to strong radiation, her condition rapidly deteriorates, and her desperate mother, Wendy, makes a fateful decision. She takes her daughter to Space Rock, believing that if anyone can save her, it's only the aliens. The Last of Us. Season 2. 5 years have passed since the events of the first season. Joel and Ellie have found refuge in a community in Jackson, Wyoming, where they are trying to lead a normal life in a world that long ago ceased to be safe. Ellie gets close to Dina, and their bond gives her a substitute for peace, but not for long. Into their lives enters Abby, a soldier driven by a thirst for revenge for the losses she has suffered. Her arrival sets off a chain of dramatic events that will shake the entire community, test the characters' relationships, and force them to face their painful past. In this world, survival is not only a struggle for life, but also a confrontation with one's own demons. Eternauta. A snowstorm is coming over Buenos Aires, but this is no ordinary precipitation. Each flake is deadly toxic, killing most of the city's residents in the blink of an eye. 𝐸𝐿, his family and friends barricade themselves inside their homes, sealing every window and door to avoid deadly contact. However, they soon discover that this is only the beginning of the nightmare. The snowstorm turns out to be the first stage of an alien invasion, and the following days bring even greater threats. Terrifying creatures appear on the streets, and the city turns into a battlefield for survival. Juan stands at the head of a group of survivors, leading them through a world that has become alien and hostile. This battle is no longer just about survival. It's about discovering the truth behind the invasion and finding others who can still fight. Love Me. In the distant future, when humanity is just a memory, remnants of ancient technology are still at work on Earth. Somewhere in the oceanic wilderness, an intelligent sea buoy receives a signal from a passing satellite. In solitude and curiosity, they begin to talk to each other, trying to understand a world that has passed. Searching through data archives, they come across recordings of influencer 𝐤𝐸 and her partner Liam, two people whose lives and relationships were once part of human daily life. Fascinated by their emotions, the buoy and satellite decide to take on human personae and recreate what was once called love. But can machines that have never experienced feelings understand their true nature? Or will they be the ones to discover something that humans have never fully grasped? The Last War. The world as we know it has ceased to exist. Nuclear war, a deadly pandemic, and natural disasters have decimated humanity, leaving only ruins and chaos in their wake. Out of a population of billions, only a third survived, and those who remain must face a brutal new reality. In the post-apocalyptic landscape, those who wish to rebuild society are constantly struggling for resources, security, and a future. But rebuilding civilization is not easy. In a world without law and order, danger lurks at every turn. Running concurrently with the series is the film The Last War, The Colony, focusing on a group of survivors who not only struggle to stay alive, but also to preserve their humanity in the face of a new and unfamiliar horror. Post-apocalyptic cinema in 2025 delivers incredible thrills and unforgettable survival stories. Which of these movies or series impressed you the most? Or do you have your own recommendations? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next rankings.